Yo, yo, yo. YouTube, what is going on? Dino Bam Bam, V107 MMA. We are live for some UFC 325 pre-show. Obviously, we got me later on the stream. We're going to have Harry joining us any minute now. Of course, DS will be here as soon as he can. Supposedly, Bromo's coming in. I don't know. We're going to have some guests in some capacity. We're going to have some sort of guests coming here. I'm going to go ahead and create the link on here, set it up on Instagram, get some of these people in this chat. And yeah, we should have a fun time talking about UFC 325, Volkanovski versus Lopez 2. I'm excited, guys. I am super goddamn excited, and I'm ready to go. So let's get it. Whenever somebody joins, we'll get to talking. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. Harry, we are waiting on you, brother. And I am super goddamn excited. WMC. Finally got that notification. What's going on, brother? Just went live. I'm happy the notifications are back on and working. That was messed up because I would get it. See, I have my personal account, right? We obviously have the 10-7 shared account. And then on my personal account, I would get the notifications all the time. But then DS told me that he wasn't getting them on his personal. So I don't know, man. Super goddamn weird, but whatever. I'm happy to be back. And look who has joined us. Harry from Pro Schmo Bets.
Let's go, baby. Hey, the handle on Apple Pay, in case you wanted to, spot me a few. Harry Balls.
Harry Balls.
Harry Balls, baby. Let's go.
You only take Apple Pay, Harry? No no Venmo, no PayPal?
Everything. Hashtag Harry Balls. Let's go.
Let's get it. What happened to the car ride? I heard you were going to be in a car ride.
I was, bro. I was. I'm going to leave here soon and then be on the road, man, to watch the fights,
There we go. We're watching them somewhere?
Yeah, brother, of course.
Let's go, man. I'm excited, dude. I'm happy they actually put them on a normal time for us here in the States. It's a normal time in Australia. It's like a morning day card, but not too bad.
Yeah, no, definitely, man.
All right, Harry, me and you, brother, the last time we talked.
Yes.
In an official capacity, right, was on Monday.
Yes, sir.
And you did the AI versus the Pro series, and you had a lot of good bets on there. Had a couple the safety parlay. I like it. I like Dan Hooker. I'm starting to kind of get swayed the closer we get that Dan Hooker might win this fight, man. You've been high on him all week, right?
I have, man. He's got grappling in his back pocket, submission grappling particularly, so pressure points and shit. So I like that. I like how that could wash out a little bit with somebody like Saint Denis who likes to be in the guard, man. He plays well off his back, but at lightweight, man, I'm not a fan. At bantamweight, I'll accept it. At flyweight, but at lightweight, you can't really play off your back like that.
Yeah, and people forget the ass whooping that Moicano put on him. Renato Moicano put a badass whooping on him in the first round. So. And like you said, he was on the ground. He stayed on his back. He wasn't able to get up. WMC in the chat saying Fiziev, Hooker, Volk. How do you feel about that from a betting perspective, Harry?
All right, well, I'll give you insider here, okay? This is insider. How many live viewers do we have? Anything like 5, 6, 7 live viewers?
Right now we're at 5, brother.
5? Okay, well, this is insider information. You're not getting this anywhere. I promise you. TikTok, nothing. Free insider, YouTube. Only way you could get this if you send Fiziev a DM right now, okay? Hey, it wasn't more than March, April, May, June where Fiziev goes public. Fiziev gets on X.com. He puts out a video suggesting he wants to move down to featherweight. As he does it, the UFC matchmakers, potentially their admin secretaries, tell him, yo, pull that shit down now. Suddenly, 72 hours later, he gets a fight booked with Ignacio Bahamondes. Bilal Muhammad goes crazy all over social media. He's happy about the fight. And now Fiziev, compromised his move down to featherweight so he could fight Ignacio Bahamondes in his hometown of all things, bro, unbeknownst to him. And that's what I love about the UFC, bro. They keep these fighters in the dark sometimes, bro, where you think there's a lot of rigging going on. It's not, bro. They do very good working mysteriously, through all of it. Yep. And then, he goes on to fight in his home country and defeat Ignacio Bahamondes. Now suddenly he gets booked with Rufi. No, I think he's coming now to Perth. They gave him everything in his hometown. A great win. He got so many sponsorships off of it. Now he's here in Perth, right? The UFC has a great deal with this venue. I'm not sure, 3 to 5 years.
It's Sydney this time, Harry, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah, in Sydney.
Yeah.
And it's time now, you know. You can see it in the matchmaking where Fiziev is going to have to feel out in the first round with Rufi, and then the calf slicing in the second. Here he comes slowing down in the third, and Rufi putting on, right? If it goes to decision. Other than that, man, it's Rufi stepping in the pocket with that reach. Fiziev is too small, bro. He's too small for this weight class. It does not work, man. Great fighter overall, though, because if you think about it, Fiziev versus Volk. Fiziev versus Diego Lopez. Fiziev versus Leron Murphy. Fiziev versus Josh Emmett. Incredible. He will kill them all.
Hey, let's get it. And you know what, Harry? You do have to kind of think under the surface, right? Like you take for example the situation that's going on with Armin Sarukian. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. Like people think he knows what his punishment or why the UFC's kind of dealing with him the way they are. He has no idea, brother. You know, when we were at UFC 319 in Chicago, I spent a lot of time with a lot of fighters, coaches, higher ups at the UFC, having some drinks at the bar and whatnot. And I remember I was sitting down talking to Saif Saud for 10, 15 minutes while we were sitting there. He was waiting for his food to come out at the bar, and I was having a drink. And Sean Shelby was right next to us, sitting just on the opposite side of us. Armin Sarukian came there, tried to have a conversation with him, and Shelby pulled him to the side, and Armin Sarukian left that conversation looking a little bit like worse than when he showed up. You know what I mean? Not too happy. So you don't really know what's going on under the covers. And then on top of it, why is Mauricio Hufi leaving the Fighting Nerds? Why is he all in Australia? Why is this fight in Australia? A Brazilian versus somebody from Kyrgyzstan? Doesn't make sense, right? There's no hometown guy, so they're kind of pushing Hufi as that hometown guy, being out there and training with Volk. Real quick, Tehran Brown in the chat saying, "What up, fellas? What up, West?" Then he's saying, "I agree, brother. Fiziev should be at 45." West responds with, "Hey, Tehran, bro. Yeah, I like Fiziev at 45, Harry. He's dynamic as hell, man. He's fast. I think his speed holds up well at 45, and I think his power is serious for the division."
Yo, your setup is awesome, bro. Hey, that microphone, bro, I hear you crisp.
There we go. I like it, brother. What are you using right now? You on your phone?
Yeah, I'm on the phone.
You look great. Do you have the iPhone, the new one, the 17 Pro Max?
Yeah, how'd you figure? Yeah, how'd you?
Because the camera looks fucking gorgeous, Harry. That's why.
Oh, shit.
There we go. Yeah, all right. So we already talked a little bit about Dan Hooker. You're super high on Hooker. And I saw Yanni the Greek, which is another guy coming from that betting perspective like you do. And he's slamming, absolutely slamming on Dan Hooker this week as well. And he's saying it's because of the value. He's saying that the odds, even though the odds are correct, he should be the underdog, but he's saying that the odds imply, like the odd implication is that Hooker wins this fight more often than the odds are saying. So it's a valuable bet. Is that kind of why you're on Hooker, or do you just think straight up Hooker's fucking winning this fight?
Well, according to Giannis the Greek's sharp ratio, and if you guys don't know, how many viewers we got now? 7 plus?
We're at 8 right now. That's
hey, you guys better rewind for insider information. We gave you one on Fiziev and Rufi. Rewind, insider information, share with your friends, okay? But now I'm giving you another one. Gianni the Greek's sharp ratio is 0 for 1 with his opening segment on Paramount Plus, bro. Can you believe this shit? They put his fucking face in that scene and he goes, "For the first bet of the year, it is Paddy Pimblett. I am so confident Paddy Pimblett is going to win this fight. I got all my friends to bet him." And dude, the minute he said that, I said, I knew it, baby. I knew it's going to be Justin Gaethje. And now that you're saying Dan Hooker, well, he ain't going 0 for 2. So I like it. I like it. If he heard something, if he's working inside somehow, whatever it is, how he comes up with it, he better be right this time.
Yeah, facts. I get it. And we got Sarka MMA. Shout out Sarka MMA in the chat saying, "Yo, finally someone other than me picking Dan Hooker." And he said BSD chokes under fan pressure. Look, I agree with that. I agree with that, Sarka. Not just that. It's the fact that, and maybe I'm crazy. Harry, you let me know what you think. I just feel like Benoit Saint Denis overrated, man. I get it. He's fun. He's tough. He goes out there. He puts on wars for the most part. But I just can't get the image out of my head of all those losses, right? His first loss in the UFC was like a legendary loss where they were yelling at referees to stop the fight. Like, it was brutal. And then the second loss is Dustin Poirier, where he's facing an aged Dustin Poirier, who we know went on to have a great fight with Islam, but regardless was kind of winning that fight, even if he had staff, then got knocked out. lost everything in the second. And then his loss against Renato Moicano, absolutely brutal. Can't get that image out of my head. Then some of the losses seem lucky, man. I know he knocked Beneil Dariush out in like 12 seconds, but that's fluky, right? Anytime you get a 10, 12-second knockout, not to say that knockouts are fluky or lucky or whatever, but it's like nobody's beating anyone in 12 seconds. These are top 10 guys in the division. So I don't know. He gets, to me, he's overrated. Obviously, Dan Hooker, I hope he wins the fight. He's tough as hell. Let's not judge him off of what happened with Arman Sarukian. Maybe Arman Sarukian is that damn good.
Hey, and now he's up against Dan Hooker, where Dan Hooker in his home country of Australia, he's 4-1.
And Zach Soil, he said he's defending it, Harry. He said he's defending the Zach Soil. Let's talk about this one, Harry. Any chance in hell that we get a shoey tonight in Sydney, Australia?
Oh God, bro! I got Teixeira by submission or KO, bro.
Yeah, does not.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, and I understand. You guys think he could jump into the pocket and then
no. Hey, I'm picking Teixeira to be. Fair. But I'm rooting for Tuivasa. Who's not rooting for Tai Tuivasa?
True.
You know what I mean? So you think Teixeira all day?
Yeah, for sure.
No, okay. WMC says Hooker is a Kiwi. Yeah, he's from New Zealand, but Zach Soil, man, one in the same.
Zach Soil, yeah, like that hemisphere. Remember, we're from America, baby.
There we go. Sarka MMA says Teixeira by sub. That's interesting, man. I never thought that. Now you guys are both saying that. I might sprinkle something on that by sub. Says so fans will root for Hooker. Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously, right? Hooker's from New Zealand. It's all the same. Those guys, the Oceania region, they're all one goddamn country essentially. New Zealand's like 3 hours away. It's the only thing within 7-8 hours of flight time to Australia. So, Harry, let's talk about the main event, man. Alexander Volkanovski, Diego Lopez. Correct me if I'm wrong. I might be completely wrong. I don't remember. Last time out when these two faced each other, who were you going? Were you with Diego Lopez or were you on the Volk side?
The stupidest thing I could have done was bet Diego Lopez, man. I bet them. I'm pretty sure I was on the Maynard's. No, who does the lightweight ranking? Shelby or Maynard? I was on their side, the matchmaker side, hoping Diego Lopez would win, and then Volk schooled them.
What are you seeing this time?
The odds clearly said the fact that they republished the same odds pretty much told me it had Anthony Hernandez odds and betting volume as that of Fluffy Hernandez versus Michelle Pereira. So, following a line and then seeing how Volk could make adjustments in the fight, he'd have more success. I 100% would lean Volkanovski.
Yeah, I'm leaning Volkanovski as well. You've heard this from us talking for so long. Rematches, I tend to, like 90% of the time, I side with the guy who won the last fight, so long as it wasn't, 5 years ago, right? When shit can really change. I don't see many adjustments that Diego Lopez could have made in this short time. Where it was with Volkanovski, he showed he was better. Yes, it was a close-ish kind of fight, but he showed he was better. And I love what Sarka MMA said in the chat. Says Volkanovski by TKO this time. Sark, you are the only other person that I've seen on Instagram, on YouTube, anywhere that is siding with me, because I also said Volkanovski TKO. The way I see this fight breaking down, Harry, I see Diego Lopez coming in there. He looks so goddamn confident this week. He gave Volk, he knocked Volk down in that last fight. He took Volk's best shots, and I think he thinks this is my moment. I can hurt this guy. I know that now. I don't really think he can hurt me that bad in terms of putting me away. So I'm really going to go for it, man. I don't want to go to the judges again. I'm going to put this guy away, and he's going to come out there super goddamn aggressive. And Volkanovski does well with these tall guys, man. And Volkanovski this whole week's been saying, I know he's going to come out aggressive. If you think you're going to be the aggressive one, you're out of your mind. I'm planting my feet, and I'm throwing back bombs. I'm throwing back heavy. You think you're going to take me down? It's not going to happen. I'll take you down and slam you on your fucking head. Like, he's using expletives, Harry. He's swearing. He seems intent on going out there and punishing Diego Lopez. I think Lopez is going to overextend, man, and get caught, get clipped with something, and get hurt. A TKO similar to kind of what we saw with Yair Rodriguez and Volk at 290. Couple more things here. WMC says Shelby deals with 135 through 170. Yeah. Teron Brown says just like Alabama and Mississippi are basically the same. Sorta, right? Usually it's a more dominant after a quick rematch. Yeah, you're right. I have Volk by decision. Sorry, I'm writing autocorrect sucks, brother. You are good. Yeah, Harry, man, I'm super excited. You know, I'm a Volk fan, man. I like Diego Lopez a lot too. And being a diehard Volk fan, part of me, little part of me, wants to see Diego Lopez win this because if anyone's gonna take the belt off of Volk, I would rather it be Diego Lopez over Movsar, over Lerone Murphy, and especially over Gene Silva. Like, I don't want to see that. You know what I mean? So I'd rather Diego Lopez be the guy because I do think, Harry, if he gets the belt right now, this can be a guy to have a legendary reign. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%, man. I think actually, if you think about a metric like that, a matchmaking metric like that on who should take the belt, I think it's going to be a graceful exit now with it being Movzar or someone like Lerone Murphy, man, against Volk. You know, even though I know you said it would be nice, you know, very poetic
Yeah.
for a guy like Lopez, man, an underdog, you know, to do it. 100%, I understand you, but you
Yeah.
also give me reassurance now that that they probably want the other guys to do it like Movzar Evloev, bro. Like really, it would be devastating, dog. If he takes it, everybody like, no way.
So what do they gain from that, Harry? Like, what does the UFC gain by Movsar getting the belt?
I think it's such a shock value impression, bro. It's such a psychosis, bro, that you really can't shake off because think about how they're promoting Volk this week. Volk is being promoted as someone who is the most veteran champion in history.
Yeah. He's a legend, man. He's an all timer. Sark wants to know our opinions on Murphy versus Evloev. Who wins? Harry, you take the floor first here. Murphy versus Evloev.
Movar is gonna pummel him. That's the theme of this year. If you guys haven't noticed, with Raf wrestling, with Armin grappling, you know, that's the theme, man. It's just these guys are gonna continue on with what the baton that was passed on from last year. You know, with striker versus grappler, man. It's just gonna continue to be dominant until you make some good adjustments in the game. You switch up, the matchmaking, get someone a bit more raw, technical, we'll probably see something different outcomes.
Yeah. Look, yeah, I agree. I think if the fight happens, which is a big if with Movsar Evloev, that guy fucking pulls out more than Harry on a Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? Hey,
God
Movsar
damn.
Evloev, Movsar Evloev known to pull out. Who knows if this fight's gonna happen, man? But if it does, you have to go with him. Another guy, and I'm not trying to sound like an asshole. Just to me, Lerone Murphy's overrated, man. Who has he fought? The guy never used to fight. He would only stay at home on the London and England cards, and he would never come to the States. And then last time out, he's supposed to fight Movsar. Not his fault. Evloev pulls out, and he gets a short notice Aaron Pico. Like, it is Aaron Pico was beating his ass until he got caught with a spinning elbow. I was there live. And it's like, is that impressive? Aaron Pico has a bunch of losses in Bellator. So, like, really, what does that mean? I'd like to see. I mean, obviously, if Lerone Murphy beats Movsar, then yeah, he deserves the title shot. I just think Evloev he's got really good wrestling, Harry. He's really goddamn dominant. He's had a couple close fights, but he is undefeated, right? The Arnold Allen fight comes to mind. Of course, the Diego Lopez debut. He's a good fighter, man. He's just inactive, and I think it's kind of a cancer if the belt ends up with that guy. And I get you, for shock value, it might be the move. Sarka MMA says Evloev kind of the least dominant of the bunch with a bunch of close decisions. Exactly. Then he says, so Murphy has a good chance, but I'd still probably go with Evloev. Yeah, I mean, I imagine it'll be close. I imagine that fight will be close if it actually does go down, which is a big actually, because Movsar Evloev, like I said, Harry, he pulls out all the goddamn time, doesn't show up to work. How do these people live? How do they make money?
Yeah, man, that's a great question.
You know
How
what I'm
did
saying?
Carlos Oliveira sponsor his team to Abu Dhabi when
That's
he fought
another.
again?
You know
How
my
did
my
that
side of
happen?
that. You know my side of that, Harry. Let's talk about this. Junior Tafa versus son of Susie, Billy Elikana. Junior Tafa looking lean, Harry. Looking like in great fucking shape.
Yeah, because he could finish him. He could finish Billy on the feet.
I'm
But if
saying,
Billy gets the back take, though, it's over, bro.
yeah, I'm still siding with Billy Elikana, but seeing plus 200 on like a lean inch. This is the most in shape we've ever seen Junior Tafa. He looks like a different human being. Plus 200 might not be bad if you're up in the night or you're a little bit down, maybe a little sprinkle.
Smart.
Yeah,
You're
maybe.
counting on that shot.
Yep. Shout out my boy Zach in the chat. Huh, Zach? What up, baby? Sarka MMA says, Elikana by whatever. Yeah, shout out Son of Susie. I think he like you said, Harry. I think he takes the back. Once Junior Tafa gets tired, we know what the Tafa brothers do. They give up. They're fat. They quit. Maybe this time less fat, but I still imagine some quitting once shit gets tough. I'm 2-2 playing Rumble by myself right now, trying to catch you. There we go, brother. Catch up. I'm far rated ahead of him, Harry, in the video game. So he's trying to catch up. So nothing interesting in that fight. How about this? Friend of the channel, Cody Brundage at plus 285, taking on Cam Rouston, minus 360, Harry. He's a good fighter, Cam Rouston, but this is the biggest step up in competition he's ever had, right? He's facing a longtime UFC veteran in Cody Brundage. As I mentioned, friend of the channel, Cody Brundage has faced killers, absolute killers in this weight class, man. There is not a single prospect that comes up at the weight class that they don't just throw Cody Brundage at. So he's faced way better people than Cam Rouston. What are your thoughts on this? Any shot for our boy?
When I saw the matchmaking here, I said, man, they're rebooking Cody quick. If they're doing that, it ain't for Cam Roston to get through. It's Cody to get through Roston. If there is any apprehension on Cody Brundage, he loses this fight. But if he goes in there knowing he could put this guy out or he could pummel him, get a round or two on the mat, he wins this by and large.
Harry, I get it, man. I get the line on Cam Rouston. I understand why he should win. I understand why he's the favorite. But Cody Brundage has wrestling, man. He has wrestling. He just goes in there and Cody Brundage, again, for the amount of times, he's been on the channel. We've talked to him so much. It's a guy that I've always rooted for. He just goes in there, man, and his IQ goes out the window. He's one of those guys, right, where he gets in there and he just falls in love with the fight and he's ready to brawl. But I do kind of see what you're saying. They get Cody Brundage a win here. It's then super goddamn easy to match him up with an Ateba Gautier or somebody like that, right? Which I think that kind of matchmaking makes sense for both Gautier and it makes sense for what the UFC has notoriously and historically done with Cody Brundage. I would love to see it. Sarka MMA says Roastin by sub. Cody takes Cam down and gets subbed. That would be wild. Maybe, man. Maybe, but a veteran, and of course, we're rooting for him. A super damn interesting fight, Harry. Jacob Malkoun, another veteran, versus Torres Finney, this undefeated wrestler that has this image, right? We always get the kind of like quote about Dagestani wrestlers being boring, right? Torres Finney is an American style wrestler, which is generally more exciting than the, Dagestani or Georgian style wrestlers, but holy shit, is Torres Finney boring. What do you think about this fight, Harry?
Well, I know a lot of people think Torres Finney would go on to face a guy like Bo Nickel, right? If he continues with his win streak. But I think Jacob Malkoun had defeated Petroski. Bo Nickel, has he fought Petroski? He did, no?
Bo Nickel, I don't think so.
Okay, that would be great matchmaking, with Jacob Malkoun in the mix, Bo Nickel get through because he is quite small for the weight class. And talking about proportions, Finney is too big, bro. His reach is nearly 83, 85. I'm not surprised. And if Jacob could get that arm bar, we're money. We're money. Usually these fighters come in large, like you mentioned with Ateba Gautier, to get you knocked out. They use that power for good in the striking. Torres is using it to pretty much pummel you and win a decision over you. I don't think that those markers don't fit well with me. So hopefully Jacob Malkoun could get through getting taken down, getting brought to a wall like Marab. Hopefully Torres is not blitzing him to a single leg, double leg like Marab. And he could actually have time on the feet and maybe some time in top control, grappling the hell out of Torres.
So you see Malkoun winning this fight?
I could see it, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel you. Sarka MMA, Malkoun by Finney getting tired. We'll see. Malkoun's cardio hasn't been the best either, though, as of late. Shout out, I might be wrong, MMA in the chat saying Finney might get a finish here, to be honest. Finney will force the takedown. He will gas down. And then Zach says, no Bickle. Shout out my boy. Look, I'm going Torres Finney, man. Not that I'm sold on Torres Finney as a fighter, Harry. Not that I'm sold on him as a high-level prospect. But 3 fights in the Contender Series, man. What is he, 2-0 now in the UFC? He's undefeated. He is proving that he's undefeated at a somewhat high-caliber level. And Jacob Malkoun got to be on the way out of the UFC at some point soon, right? He's kind of aging. He's been here for a while, man. And I think with Torres Finney, like all attention is great attention, Harry, whether it's
Okay.
positive or negative, right? If people love you, great, you're marketable. If people hate you, well, guess what? You're really fucking marketable, because every fight is, I can't wait to see this guy lose, right? So if he goes out there and has another boring performance where he's getting booed out of the goddamn building in Australia, but he finds himself a decision win, this guy is super damn marketable as like a heel. You match him up against fan favorite type of guys, and maybe, everyone's rooting for him to get his head knocked off. So, yeah. Teron Brown says Finney is so boring. He is so goddamn boring, brother. I agree with you. I just don't know. I'm just not sold on Jacob Malkoon anymore, and it could happen because Torres Finney's not that good. But that's not a bet. That's not a fight I'm betting, Harry. It's not a
Right.
fight I'm betting. Just keeping it out there for the official picks. We move on. Jonathan McCaleb taking on Oban Elliott. Oban Elliott, super goddamn hyped as he was coming into the UFC. Harry gets himself a couple wins, a nasty knockout, and then last time out looked hesitant, looked afraid to go into the fire. He is taking on Jonathan McCaleb, a guy that I think is kind of being underrated by a lot of people. Again, a 50-50 kind of fight, but I assumed McCaleb would be a bigger favorite. What are your thoughts on this?
Hey, McCaleb could bully him, but I don't think it'll happen, man. I think McCaleb likes striking too much. And Oban Elliott, he has the tools. He's got the shot selection, the sequence with the overhands, and the level changes, man. So he can work a clinch against the wall. He's relentless. So if that's the Oban Elliott who's pulling up, then that's the guy, who should win.
Yeah. Again, another fight I'm split on, man. I'll be honest with you. Usually, like I said, I've said this before. I'll say it again for anyone here that, that might be new. We're over 70% on the year, Harry. Me and DS here at D107 MMA, over 70% last year, 70% the year before. We plan on doing that shit again. Off to a so-so start last week. But I'll be honest with you, this card, man, something about it just does not, it's an uncomfortable card for me. There's a lot of fights where I'm very iffy on. I don't like the odds in terms of making money here. So with this fight, I stuck with Jonathan McCaleb. I could totally see Oban Elliott winning it. I'll be rooting for Oban Elliott. There's a lot of those on this card where I think this guy's going to win, but I'm rooting for the other guy. So we'll see. I'll stick with McCaleb. I think the leg kicks are nasty. I think Oban Elliott, if he doesn't come out with no fear, Harry, he's going to get his ass kicked. If he comes out hesitant, he is getting fucked up. So we'll see what happens there. Sarkis says Elliott, Oban Elliott by KO. And he says, no reason why. I just like him more. I like him more too, but it is what it is. And there goes Harry. He might be back. Jonathan McCaleb, TKO, in my opinion, by I might be wrong. Says,
I'm here.
love
I'm here.
Oban. There we go. But stylistically, this is a bad matchup. I think I agree. Unfortunately, I think I agree.
Hold
Get
on.
to a couple more, Harry. Khan Offley versus Yiza. This is a
Add me
weird
to the.
one. I don't know. What'd you say, Harry? What did you say?
There we go, baby. Now I need it to be added to the stage.
Boom. Okay.
Let's go.
Khan Offley versus Yiza. What do you got on this? Any bets? Any insight?
Man, I love Khan Offley. He does everything well. This is a guy who does everything well. He can grapple, he can strike, power cross, everything, uppercuts. He could take your back. But where's the submission in that? Where's the knockout in that? Where are you buying yourself some points, man, on the scorecard? None. So how the hell am I gonna bet you? Hopefully, you're also like 2-3 inches too short. Stocky, bro. No, man. You need to move down a weight class. Get yourself a few finishes. Other than that, it's Yiza through and through. I don't care how public Yiza is.
Yeah, 80% of people on Tapology taking Yiza, around like 60% of those taking him by finish. So it looks like everybody's kind of going there. Sarka MMA says Offley by unanimous decision. I liked Khan Offley a lot, man, on the Ultimate Fighter. He looked good. He was impressing me with his grappling, Harry. But you're right. It was a lot of control grappling, and then we saw in the finale he got put out bad by Myron Santos, who, while he's winning, has been kind of a middling guy. So really, how good is Khan Offley? I think he's just getting this because he is fighting at home, which Sarka MMA repeats there. He's in his hometown. If it's close, he'll get the decision. I buy that. I just don't know how much the UFC gives a shit. It feels like this card, and again, that's me assuming the UFC has their hands on the judges, right? That's just me assuming that. I'm playing a character, like they all say, right, Harry? This is all satire and for fun.
Correct.
But what I'm saying is, if the UFC actually does have their fingers on the judges and they kind of have control in these fights, I don't know that they're setting this up for the hometowners, man. A lot of these fights, I can see the Australian NZAC guy losing, right? Dan Hooker, a big dog against Benoit Saint Denis. Tai Tuivasa. This is a terrible matchup for Tai Tuivasa. I know Killian Salkild's from the area, but so is Jamie Malarkey, and they're throwing his ass out there to die, Harry. Junior Tafa, a big underdog. Like a lot of these fights can go bad for the hometown guys. So I can see this just being a bad night in Australia. I hope it ends well for them, but I could just see it being a terrible night for the fans out there in Oceania. Anything else you got, Harry? Anything else you want to talk about? Volk, Lopez, Hooker.
Doug, talking about Salkild, man. Salkild broke
Yep.
his ankle, actually. I think it was 90 days ago. He broke it. Broken. All right. CAT scan, X-ray, negatives. All right. A positive for broken ankle. Just wanted to mention that. So,
Something. Look, I think the world of this kid. I think he is a really goddamn good prospect. He's getting the joke where he's like, he's Pakistani because he knocked out Anshul Jubilee and he's the minority killer and all that kind of stuff. Well, they got him facing a white guy here, Harry. You know what I mean? They got him facing a white guy from Australia as well. So it is what it is. I wouldn't mind Jamie Malarkey's chances if he had any fucking chin remaining. Just like any modicum of chin. But we've seen this guy chinned nonstop in the UFC. So Sal killed by TKO, as Sarka MMA says. Yeah, man, I think we get a lot of finishes. I love this main card, Harry. I think the last 3 fights in particular, with Hoofy and Fiziev, with Hooker and BSD, Volk and Diego Lopez, I think we have 3 certified bangers that all have fight of the night potential, like before the fight starts. We have a couple of fights that could be fight of the year potential, right? Like Hoofy and fucking what's his face?
Fiziev.
That could be a fight of the year if it plays out as a 3-rounder. That would be absolutely nuts. Do you see that fight going the distance, or are you seeing a finish?
100%. Yeah, I see Roofy by decision plus 250, no problem.
I'm so down, man. I'm so excited. That's one of those fights where you get nervous. You got a lot of units out on this card, Harry, or what?
Always, man. I got 80% of the bankroll on it, man. With Roofy being the largest bet at half of that.
Damn. So Hoofy. So you like Hoofy, who's now the favorite. You got him at underdog prices. You parlaying that with Dan Hooker or what?
No, that's a straight bet. And then Dan Hooker would be a straight bet.
Dan Hooker's a straight bet as well.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Badass.
And then Volk, I parlayed Volk for plus 120 with Shakur Stevenson, right? Hopefully he gets that win over Teofimo.
Is that tonight?
Yeah, that's tonight at 11. Yeah,
that's tonight as well. Yeah. So, hey, we got some fucking bangers. We got a bunch of fights coming up, Harry. I'm super goddamn excited, man. I'm lit. I don't know. I don't got much more to say about this shit unless somebody in the chat's got more to say. I'm waiting on DS. He's leaving me hanging here, Harry. He's fucking leaving me hanging out here. So I'll let you go if you want to go. If you want to stay, shoot the shit. We can do that. It's up to you, brother.
All right, my brother. Hey, I'll catch you on the flip side, man. All the best today with the bets. And as always, thank you for having me, man. And tell your people to rewind because we got a lot of good insider yours, insider mine. After that table meeting where you were when Sean Shelby was talking to Armin Sarukian.
I know.
Let's go, baby. Hashtag Harry Balls.
Hashtag Harry Balls, Venmo. You guys can find him at Pro Schmo Bets on Instagram, on YouTube.
Venmo.
But if you want to send him some money, you might
Harry Balls with the dollar sign, Cash App with the Harry Balls, bro.
Damn. Okay. All right, Harry. I'll
text much love, bro. Thank you again. Thank you.
For sure, brother. We'll get some parlays going.
Let's go.
All right, y'all. That was Harry from Pro Schmo Bets. And now it's just me and you. We're waiting on DS to get his ass home. He was doing a lot of work, so we'll see what happens there. But if anyone's in the chat trying to talk about some shit, feel free. I might be wrong. If you're here, I can send you a link if you want to hop on, brother. It's up to you. Sarka MMA, brother, I don't know you, but if you want to hop on, I'm down to talk. Let's get it. Excited about this card, boys. Excited about this goddamn card. I'll go through it right now until we get some more people in here, just to give you guys my opinion. Volkanovski, Diego Lopez, I already said it, man. Anytime there is a rematch, I tend to side with the guy that won the last one, so long as it wasn't that long ago, right? And obviously this was Volkanovski's last fight. We have seen Diego Lopez come out here and do his thing one time since then, and it was an emphatic victory over Gene Silva, a nasty, nasty KO. I just don't know how much improvements he's made, guys. But again, Volk has always said, and I do side with Volk. I do agree with him that if you want to beat Alexander Volkanovski, your only way of doing it is catching him. Yes, he lost the decision to Islam Makhachev in the first fight, but a lot of people think he won, right? So it's, the point being, it's very difficult to beat this guy by decision. I think Lopez knows that, so he's going to come out super goddamn aggressive, and I think that's going to bite him in the ass. I'm going Alexander the Great, Volkanovski by KO. Tehran Brown in the chat. As much as I hate boxing, I must admit they've been doing good with putting the best against the best as of late. UFC been lacking, especially with this pointless, undeserved title shot for Lopez. It's weird, man. I grew up on boxing, right? So that was kind of my first, I grew up on WWE, but when I got into like real fighting, boxing was the thing. I got into it. It was amazing. You know, you would get, I played Fight Night. I was ranked worldwide, so I was really goddamn into it. But boxing, as of late, has been doing a better job with getting the best to fight the best. But the reason for that, and what I think the reason that it never happened before, was the money. We got Turkey Al Sheikh and Saudi Arabia dabbling into, not dabbling, like they are fucking taking over boxing. They're in here. They're putting up the money. They're getting your Usyks versus Furies. They're getting this fight like tonight. They're paying these people the right amount of money for them to go in there, risk their name, risk their legacy. And I like it, man. As far as Diego Lopez getting an undeserved title shot on the UFC side of things, we all know that, right? I think we all agree that he doesn't deserve the title shot from a meritocracy standpoint. He lost to the champion. He's on a one-fight winning streak. What makes you deserve a title shot? Well, it's the fact that the top two guys are boring and inactive, right? Movsar Evloev literally never fights. And then when it comes to Lerone Murphy, he's been pretty inactive throughout his career, and then his best win was his last one over Aaron Pico, a guy that came from Bellator, making his UFC debut on short-ish notice as a replacement, right? A guy that had losses in Bellator, so it's not really an impressive win. I think in order to get to the title, you need to beat a Diego Lopez at 45. You need to beat a Movsar Evloev at 45. You need to beat one of those guys to get there. Lerone Murphy has his chance to do that. Tehran Brown says, I grew up on WWE as well, Ruthless Aggression era. I've been watching MMA, mostly the UFC, since 2009. Yeah, me and DS are a little older than you, I would assume, but we grew up on the Attitude Era, early Ruthless Aggression era. Shit was amazing, and it's a natural transition into MMA. I think a lot of people around our age kind of made that transition as well. I'm sure Brock Lesnar helped, right? Ken Shamrock before that. Like, it introduced you to what MMA was. And I remember being a little kid, we'd be watching the WWE and Ken Shamrock was there, you know, and he was billed as this super goddamn scary guy. And then you would hear from your older friends and your older cousins and shit, like, this is a real fighter. He'd beat the hell out of all these guys. And then you go check it out and he's a real goddamn fighter. 31 turning 32. Yeah, we're a couple years older than you. I'm 35. Me and DS are 35. So, you know, same shit. We're in high school when you were. But yeah, man, boxing's doing a great job. I think the UFC can do a great job with Paramount. I think they can promote themselves. I think they can get out there to a broader audience, start introducing yourself to a lot of people that we would consider casuals and get those people really into the goddamn sport. And it does have to be the best versus the best, but I think more so than that, you need to be able to build stars. And that's been the UFC's biggest issue as of late, as of the last 5, 6, 7 years. They had, you know, they've always had booms and busts kind of in the UFC. There was the Tough era where, you know, that kind of blew up. And then Ronda and Connor's era, and that kind of blew fans up. And then they had the pandemic era, right? 2020, where a lot of new people came into the UFC. And then as I think about it, those people that started watching during that time, the pandemic crowd, they haven't really seen a superstar. Yes, they got a Conor McGregor fight or two, right? They had the one with Cowboy was before. And then they got the Dustin Poirier 2 fights, right? The one in Abu Dhabi and then the one in Vegas where we went to. So that's the most you've seen is 2 losses from Conor McGregor as for your biggest stars. They tried with Sean O'Malley. They kind of failed with Sean O'Malley. They tried with Paddy Pimblett. They kind of failed with Paddy Pimblett. So we haven't seen like a real superstar. I mean, Islam's pretty big, and I guess Hamzat's pretty big. The Charles Olive era was huge, but just nothing, you know, nothing like Ronda, nothing like Conor, nothing like Brock Lesnar in his heyday, right? Nothing like Chuck Liddell in his heyday, nothing like Anderson Silva. We haven't seen that kind of superstar. Alex Pereira is another guy that is kind of close to that, but I think Alex Pereira's suffering because of his age, right? Like, how much more Alex Pereira do we have? And I think that's why the UFC is making the Yuri versus Alberg fight to move Alex Pereira up to heavyweight to kind of inflate him, even though that might be artificial or whatever the hell. They're pushing Alex Pereira. That's probably the biggest star we've seen in 5-6 years. Teron Brown. If you can go back 15 years ago, 2011 UFC, it's more better back then. Yeah, I mean, 100%. 100%, right? I think the sport is better now. I think we have better fighters on average now. I think it's like any sport, right? I don't know if you guys watch basketball or football, hockey, soccer, whatever. Any group of athletes now, you take the guys in the NBA today, and I'm an unk. You take those guys today, on average, they're better than the guys in the 90s, right? But the guys in the 90s had more aura. Your Michael Jordans, your, Charles Barkley's, Karl Malone's, like those guys were larger than life. And I think we have a star problem in today's sports. Not at the tippy top of some of these sports, right? Like Mbappe and Lamine Yamal and all these guys in soccer, those are superstars. But you're getting less and less superstars than we used to have back in the day. And the UFC is really goddamn suffering with that. It's an absolute struggle for them. Building a star, man. Building a star. So that's why they were trying to do the Patty and Sean O'Malley thing last week. Just didn't work out for them. Dan Hooker, Benoit Saint Denis. I'll talk about this fight for a little bit. I'm going Benoit Saint Denis, guys. I'm going BSD by decision. I think it'll be a war, but again, the closer we get to the fight, the more I'm starting to think Dan Hooker has a chance, and it's for a plethora of reasons. Number one, Benoit Saint Denis. We've seen him lose a lot, guys. Let's not act like Benoit Saint Denis is this untouchable, undefeated guy. He's been in the UFC for 3-4 years at this point. He has 3 losses. So we have seen him, and in all 3 of those losses, he got the shit beat out of him. It wasn't like he lost a close decision or he got robbed or something. He got his ass beat and got finished in 2 of those. Teron Brown says, do not forget about Gary Payton. He's a 90s legend. I mean, if we want to talk about 90s NBA legends, bro, it's like the star power. Again, the star power of those guys. Maybe it was because there was no internet. People were less reachable. Right. It's weird. And I know I'm in this MMA space and me and DS have a lot of connections in the MMA world, the UFC world, whatever, where we've met so many of these goddamn people. Right. Like I've been in an elevator with Alex Pereira and had a conversation with him. I've seen Conor McGregor 5 feet from me at Wrigley Field. Right. These people are more approachable now. And it's probably due to social media, but just in general, they're more approachable than stars were back in the day. Like I grew up in Chicago. I've never seen Michael Jordan face to face. I've hung out with Michael Jordan's kids, and I've never seen Michael Jordan face to face. So there was more mystique around those people, right? And I feel like now everyone's just so in touch. You can tag somebody on Instagram, and they'll come check your story out. They'll leave you a like. They'll leave you a comment. It's nothing to kind of be amongst the common folk because of social media. I think that's the biggest thing. Of why we're not getting as many superstars as we used to. But with that being said, I mean, you still have your Messis and your Ronaldos, which are worldwide superstars, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, going back to this, BSD, overrated to me, guys. Dan Hooker, tough as nails. We know that. I just worry because of that last fight. I don't like to put too much weight into one fight. But he got his ass beat by Arman Tsarukyan and really had nothing to offer on the ground, which is an area where we know Benoit Saint Denis offensively is really goddamn good on the ground. But how much of that is Arman Tsarukyan being really good, right? Maybe it's not Dan Hooker. Maybe Arman Tsarukyan is actually who we think he is, the rightful number 1 contender, the guy that can give Ilia Topuria, a run for his money, right? So I'm worried about it. Again, I'm picking BSD. But just like last week, I picked Paddy Pimblett. But again, the closer we were getting to the fight, and I said that, I was like, man, I feel like Justin Gaethje might win this. I feel like Dan Hooker might win this fight. Teron Brown says if Hooker can keep it standing, he should win. Yeah, he's better on the feet. He's got more power. He's got more dog in him. Seen him live at 290 when he broke his arm against Jalen Turner. You think about that fight. You think about the Apex War he went to with Dustin Poirier. Early Dan Hooker with all those finishes, nasty knees and head kicks and all that kind of shit. And Benoit Saint Denis seems like a guy that can be physically broken down. Maybe not mentally, but physically broken down for sure. This fight, guys. Rafael Fiziev versus Mauricio Hufi. Supposedly no longer with the Fighting Nerds. This fight is so goddamn interesting. I really think, like, if there was a line And I said this earlier in the week on the other 10-7, I believe, or along one of the shows we did. Um, if you put a line on it, like a betting line of fight of the year before the fights happen, I feel like Fiziev and Hoofy is like amongst the favorites this year as a pre-fight for a potential fight of the year. If these guys go the distance like Harry was anticipating, like a lot of people are anticipating, guys, it could be a stand-up banger, an absolute banger for 3 rounds. I'm siding with Mauricio Hoofy. He looked a little weird to me throughout the week. He looked like really quiet, and maybe that made him look a little scared. But I think the more I got to see him, the more I started realizing it's not fear. It's not a bad weight cut. It's not an injury that he's hiding. It's just quiet confidence. Like, this guy is quiet. He is ready to go to war with Rafael Fiziev. And I don't worry that Fiziev's not. I just worry that Hoofy might be just the younger, more dynamic of the two, man. WMC says Fiziev decision. That was my official pick throughout the week, but I think we switched it over to Hoofy by decision. But yeah, this is going to be an absolute banger. I think anyone, you're going to look right. Somebody's going to look right in retrospect, right? Whether you pick Hoofy or Fiziev, you're either going to be right or wrong. And the people that are going to be right on this fight are going to act like, see, I told you. But I truly believe that, like, anyone that's confident in who wins this fight is a fucking liar. And I'm not trying to call you out on that. It's just like this fight can play out either way. Somebody gets damaged and the fight changes, but these two are going to go out there and put on a striking clinic for us. Fiziev might go to the grappling. We did see Hoofy struggle with the grappling last time out, and we've seen Fiziev in his last 2 fights actually use takedowns. So I wonder how much of this fight takes place on the feet versus on the ground. If Fiziev gets Hoofy on the ground, can Hoofy get up? Has he fixed that? That's something that I'm super interested in. Guys, my throat is super goddamn dry. I'm going to take a sip. While I'm doing that, like and subscribe. And I got DS texting me. He's going to be joining us any minute now, guys. Let's see here. Boom. And if you guys liked and subscribed, thank you. Also, follow us on Instagram, V107MMA. Check this out. Just like that goddamn thing at the bottom says. So, yeah. Hoofy Fiziev, man, this is going to be a banger of a fight, guys. I'm excited. I know it's going to pay off for us. Tai Tuivasa, Tyson Teixeira. I think the entire MMA world wants to see Tai Tuivasa win this fight, right? We want to see Tuivasa after a 5-fight losing streak, a long layoff. He gained all that goddamn weight. Now he had to cut it to get to 264, and he barely made weight, but he looks good. And we all want to see Tai Tuivasa come in here at home, get a knockout win, do a goddamn shoey. I just don't know, man. Tyson Teixeira is obviously the guy that got knocked out by Derek Lewis. And I think of Tai Tuivasa at this point very like Derek Lewis, right? A guy that's just going to go out there. He's going to look for the big shot. And if he knocks you out, great. If not, you'll probably end up finishing him. He's not going to quit like Derek Lewis would. But Derek Lewis got the best of Tyson Teixeira, got a little over-aggressive and paid for it. Tai Tuivasa lands one of those fucking meat hooks on you. You are going down, and you are going down fast. So, again, Tyson Teixeira is the pick here. I'd say late round 1 TKO, but I would absolutely love to see Bam Bam Tuivasa get himself a W, so I'm rooting for him. But the pick is Tyson Teixeira. Killian Salkild, Jamie Malarkey. This fight was set up for Killian Salkild, right? This is a feature, this is the featured prelim. This is for Killian Salkild to become a star. I'm sorry, they're opening the main card. This is set up for Killian Salkild to become a star, guys. Jamie Malarkey, a good fighter, a decent resume, good level of competition. He's just chinny, man. He's so goddamn chinny, and Killian Salkild's being pushed as this knockout guy, and that's why they gave him a chinny guy. They want him to have another highlight reel so they can push this kid up their rankings, and it just kind of is what it is. Maybe it'll be a little tougher than people think it is. Just like last week, I think we had Ateba Gauthier and Umar Nurmagomedov with massive odds, and Umar dominated, but it was super boring. And Ateba Gauthier, some people say he robbed the other dude. It's just the odds are a little wild. I don't think many UFC fights should be minus 1,000. Junior Tafa versus Billy Elikana. Junior Tafa looking in great shape. Billy Elikana is awesome, though. I really think he's good. He's good on the ground. He has good sub skills. Junior Tafa, a notorious quitter. Once shit gets tough for him in that first round, he comes out swinging. He is going to throw massive. He is going to either connect and knock you out or miss and gas himself out. And then he's done. After 3-4 minutes, the guy gives up. Billy Elicana has a great grappling threat. So if he takes this guy down, takes Junior Tafa down, what is he going to do? Junior Tafa is going to sit there and get subbed or get fucking pounded out to a ground and pound finish. To me, Billy Elicana's free cheese. Cam Ralston, Cody Brundage, guys. This fight, again, very interesting to me. We do have a dog in this race. Shout out Cody Brundage, friend of the channel. I really do think he can win this fight. I know people think I'm crazy, but you see Cam Ralston with minus 360, like for what? For what? Cody Brundage has been in there, and he has fought significantly better guys than Cam Ralston, who's not some like undefeated killer. He's 13-3. But let's take a look at the opponents of Cody Brundage. Forget last time out, Eric McConical was kind of whatever. Mansour Abdulmalik, you know what kind of matchmaking that was. That's an absolute savage that they matched him up with. Julian Marquez, a knockout threat. Abdul Razak Al Hassan, a knockout threat. They set him up with Bo Nickel. That was just to get Bo Nickel a big win at UFC 300. Put on a good account of himself, Cody Brundage. Before that, Zach Reese, who was like the it prospect before we found out he was a fraud. SD Dumas, they were trying to push that kid on top of Cody Brundage. Mikhail Olegzaychik, right? They give him these fights. Nick Maximov, I believe in his debut or maybe his second fight. They give him these kids that they want to build up. And I get that that's probably what they're trying to do here with Cam Ralston. But as you look at Cam Ralston's record, 13-3, has a loss to Torres Finney, who is a grappler, has a loss to Jacob Malkoun on the regional scene, who is a grappler. So we know wrestlers can beat this guy. Cody Brundage is a damn good wrestler. We forget it because of the way that he normally fights. But, you know, in his back pocket is wrestling. Like, if you had to boil him down to be one thing, he is a wrestler. He's also a goddamn brawler, and I hope he doesn't do that. But, you know, I'm picking Cody Brundage, guys. I'm picking Cody Brundage plus 285. If he cashes, I'll be super goddamn happy. If he loses, it is what it is. You know, a minus 361. Jacob, speaking of Torres Finney, Jacob Malkoun, Torres Finney. I just think Torres Finney's going to wrestle him, man. He's too goddamn powerful, guys. He's so stocky. He's got long arms. He's super goddamn powerful. We haven't seen him striking much in the UFC, but when he throws big as hell, man. And he could chin Jacob Malkoun. He could wrestle and control Jacob Malkoun. People are saying Torres Finney's cardio not so good. Jacob Malkoun's cardio not so good. We've seen him getting gassed out as of late. So I think Torres Finney will be a guy that the UFC will book sort of similarly to Cody Brundage, where after this, they're going to want somebody to beat him, and they're going to match him up with guys they think should beat him stylistically. I think maybe they even tried to do that with Robert Valentin, but that didn't work out. Turned out he had no grappling, so they might be overcorrecting and giving him like just a strong grappler here. I think he still gets this one done. But yeah, Malkoun, most of my friends, most of my people that I talk to are picking Jacob Malkoun. So we'll see. I'll either be right or I'll be goddamn wrong, guys. Jonathan McAuliffe, Oban Elliott, 50-50. It's a 50-50 fight to me. I am high on Jonathan McAuliffe, maybe higher than most people are. So I understand the minus 135, but I do like Oban Elliott. I don't like to take too much from people for one fight, right? I don't like that. I don't like to just kind of take away everything they've done because of one fight. And I think that's what we're doing as a community with Oban Elliott. We're seeing a guy that didn't look good last time out, that kind of quit, was super hesitant last time out, and we might be overcorrecting. So I love Oban Elliott. I hope he gets it done, but I do have to stick with McAuliffe because I am higher than most people on him. I think the leg kicks are super goddamn serious. And then with Khan Ofli and Yiza, it is what it is, guys. I think Yiza is a more dangerous fighter. I think he's got more threats, more ways to win this fight. I know that's a cliche, but he has more finishing ability, man. Khan Ofli, not too much of a finisher. I think Yiza has more power on the feet. I think he's the better wrestler between the two. I think he has way more sub skills than Khan Ofli. So unless Khan Ofli can get this guy in a really shitty predicament, Yiza should win this fight and should win it pretty comfortably for me. As far as the road to UFC, I'm not even going to get into it, but Sebastian Saleh, I think that's the guy's name. I love that guy. I think he's a great prospect, and I think he will be the standout from this year's road to the UFC. So I'm really high on him. I think he beats Kichiro Nakamura, and Sebastian Saleh is a small favorite in that one. Just got word from DS that he should be coming soon. WMC says Fiziev by decision. Yeah, man. Maybe, man. I don't know. I don't know about that fight. I just think it's dangerous. It's reckless. Uh, Either one of those guys is live for a finish at any point. We're gonna see spinning shit. We're gonna see crazy power shots. Somebody's getting fucked up. But I think we do get 15 minutes of an absolute war on that fight. Let's see. Boom. All right, who do we got in the chat, guys? What's going on? Talk to me. Somebody talk to me. I'm waiting on DS. He's got me struggling over here. Fighting for my goddamn life. Just sent the link. A little smoke break. Hell yeah, WMC. You got a YouTube channel, WMC? What are you on here doing MMA and shit? I'm going to check you out, brother. Hell yeah. All right. Sending invites out to a couple people, guys, so bear with me for a second. I don't know who's fighting outside the last 3 fights. I'm such a casual these days. It is what it is, man. Welcome to the Paramount era. And hopefully, if you weren't a casual before, maybe you can get back into it, right? Maybe you can get into the sport. I think this is a badass card for casuals because the last 3 fights are so goddamn good. I'm sure you know Tai Tuivasa. Yeah, and Killian Salkill. This is going to be a great time for people to get introduced to him. I think that kid is a future star. So it is what it is, man. It's a great card for newer fans or returning fans. And I think we're only going to get better, man. In March, we're getting Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway. That's an unbelievable fight for old fans and new. We're in a good position, man. I think the UFC can really blow up. It's a huge opportunity, right? Because think about it. We have millions of new eyeballs. They produced that number last week of like 5 point something million fans watching the Paramount card, which is like the most ever. And those are legal people, right? And that's 2 to 3, 4 people. Think about how many people have a party at their house for the UFC. It's amazing. There's a lot of eyeballs on the UFC. I think it's great for MMA YouTube. I think it's great for the UFC and MMA in general. I literally started streaming within the last week. Not an MMA channel necessarily, but I'm always down to talk MMA when I'm live. What do you do? What do you normally talk about? I can see your picture like a little bit. It looks like a fucking stranger danger van. What are you doing out there? What are you doing out there? But yeah, man, huge opportunity for the UFC to get in front of the public, man. And I think this is going to be huge for the sport, for us creators, for the fans in general, for the fighters. It'll be good, right? Bigger paydays, you would assume. So I think with what Abu Dhabi was doing, or not Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia has been doing with boxing, I think this Paramount deal can do something along those lines for the UFC. Paramount spending $7-8 billion, whatever it is, like they are going to make sure. They're going to make sure that the UFC gets a massive fan base. And 5 million people, 5 million homes tuned into the fights. That's more than most NFL games, right? That's way more than NBA games, way more than baseball games get. So big eyes, just a ton of fucking eyeballs on the UFC. And I absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. Actually, no concept to my streams, just yap about whatever with whoever shows up, man. It is what it is, bro. Like a just live, just chatting kind of thing like they do on Twitch. I feel that. And, we'll get into it sometimes here with people that are on our channel. Like if they want to talk about something, we'll talk about it. I have no issue talking about whatever, but we kind of try to stay in the MMA lane. But hell yeah, a just chatting channel is fucking badass. It is what it is, man. Do what you enjoy, right? Talk about what you enjoy talking about. Like that's all it boils down to at the end of the day. And with us, we chose this lane because we love this shit. But, maybe we do another channel. We've been talking about like a gaming channel. That's always something we've enjoyed doing. I don't know why I got Khan Offley versus Yiza up here. Let's go ahead and put the main event. Yeah, just waiting on DS. Where you at, brother? Let's go, man. You told me you're getting here 10 minutes ago. We're trying to fucking talk to the people. My goodness. My gosh. 40 minutes, guys, till the UFC 325 card starts. And we're just out here, just vibing. Absolutely vibing. WMC, what's your channel, man? It's not letting me click on it. I want to check it out, but I can't just type fucking WMC. Nothing comes up. Type your channel in the chat if you can. Check out some of these odds, see if they moved. I guess I could talk about some of the bets that I'm going with, some wild bets on this card. So I will be sprinkling on Alexander Volkanovski by KO, right? So Alexander Volkanovski at this point, still a favorite. I'm pulling up the live odds here. Give me 1 second. We use DraftKings over here. There it is. Volkanovski now a minus 142. So a little bit of money coming, in on Diego Lopez Diaz. How's it going, brother?
What up? What up?
Left me out here fucking straight. I'm fighting for my life, brother. Fighting for my life out here.
Why?
Just solo dolo talking to WMC. We're out here, Western Mass Climber. I'm gonna check it out right now. I'm gonna sub to you. I haven't even seen your content, brother, but I will fucking sub. And you can count on me. I'm loyal. What up, DS? How you doing, brother?
What up? I'm fucking super congested, my guy.
It sounds like it.
Yeah. But I'm still here. Yeah, as soon as I got home, I hopped right on. So
let's get it. I'm happy. Happy to have you, brother. What's going on? Who we got, DS? Anything changed? What's good?
I mean, I told you I'm not I don't like that we picked Brundage for the creative challenge. Unfortunately, we got to redeem ourselves on that one.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. This is a tough card, bro. Especially the first half of this card. It's a rough one.
Yeah, it's brutal. We've been talking about that the entire time. WMC, I got you. I found your channel and I subbed, brother. So I'll check you out after UFC tonight. I will watch your latest shit. How about that? Boom. Shout out WMC. Yeah, DS. We had Harry on a little bit earlier. I don't know how much, if you were tuning in or out or whatever the case was. I know
I didn't have time, unfortunately.
It's all good. It's all good. Talk to me. So you're Volk. You're still going Volk?
I am, man. I am because, again, like kind of what I was saying the other day, right? Like I just think that his distance management for a short guy is second to none, right? I think he's still probably the overall most skilled guy this side of Ilia Topuria in the division.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more skilled than Ilia Topuria, right? It's just that Ilya's got that different ass power. And then like the feints, like watching that first fight, with between him and Lopez the first time around, the feints of Volk were just unbelievable, man. The in and out, like some guys just feint just to feint. Like Volk is not that, right? He actually does it with purpose, and it's effective. So for me, the feints, the distance management, even though Volk's going to be the shorter guy in there, I mean, overall skill set, and we kind of talked about it, right? Where it's like, by the way, are you still going Diego Lopez second round or Volk? You said what? Volk's going to knock him out in the second round?
Yeah.
Are you still sticking by that?
I'm sticking by it.
That's fucking insane. That is absolute insanity. I don't know about all that. I just don't really see that, but that'd be fucking insane to see, to be honest. If that hits, holy shit, dude. Are you sprinkling anything on a second round knockout then?
Brother, I'm fucking sprinkling, my friend. Like, what are you talking about? I'm sprinkling.
Yep.
I'm sprinkling. And look who just joined us.
Well.
What's going on, boys?
The Toad himself. We actually had someone in the chat earlier, Sarka MMA. I can't find the comment, but this fella right here, he's also going Volk by TKO. And I'm glad Toad joined in at a fucking perfect time. So DS, to wrap up what you were saying.
Let me just wrap up. Yeah. So again, the distance management, the overall skill set, and look, like basically I agree with what you're saying in terms of like Diego Lopez is gonna have to be more aggressive this time around because that was kind of his downfall last time around. When he did get more aggressive and more active with the striking, look at the second round, right, where he ended up dropping Volk. I don't know, man. To me, if somebody's going to get knocked out, it's going to be Volk. I just don't think we see a finish in this one overall. The distance management, the overall movement of Volk is just going to still be a problem. And then we're in a weird position because now, Diego Lopez probably shouldn't be getting the title shot right now. I understand why they gave it to him. And then what do you do, right? Like, Diego Lopez is still so exciting. I'm not really worried about it, but now he's got 2 losses to Volk, 2 championship fight losses. It'll be interesting.
So you're sticking Volk by decision.
I'm sticking Volk by decision, man, but I'm less confident, I mean, at some point it's going to end, right? At some point, now you watch that last fight back, and not that it was like, it was a little while ago, but nothing crazy, but he sure looked like the Volk of old, right? So I got to go with him.
Close decision, huh? Toad, talk to me. I know what you've been saying.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree if we do see this fight go into that 4th, 5th round, it probably is looking good for Volk to end up with another decision win. But it's that chaos in the first 3 that's really hard to time in, time out, especially where Volk is at the end of his career, able to survive that gunfight. And I just think Diego, in my opinion, he's had a lot more time to level up off that fight and meet someone to that level, just like he did with Mavzar, in my opinion, that should prepare him for this round 2 and make those adjustments. Volk, he's been in trilogies with Max. He's had some beautiful, back-to-back fights. Obviously, Islam was a short notice. But can he make major adjustments the way that Diego's going to? I don't know. I'm kind of fading him based on where he's at, not what he's done, because he's the featherweight GOAT. I have no reason to fade Volk, but it's just where we are right now. So give me Diego by violence. First 3 rounds are live for a finish. And I'm not going to rule out the submission either. Everyone talks knockouts, and he kind of gave up his first love. But all it takes is a big shot to open up some kind of scramble or to the ground. And if Ortega can get Volk into submission attempts, then so can Diego. Whether or not he finishes him or not, I have no idea, because Volk is amazing in those deep waters. So,
yeah. One other thing I just want to mention, again, to my opinion, Diego Lopez, Jesus Christ, I can't talk. His biggest weakness is that he doesn't move his fucking head off the center line, man. Like, he cannot do that. Like, though, even the Gene Silva fight, it's like when he was getting touched up, he's just not moving his head off the center line. So I don't know. I'm that coupled with the feints and in and out movement of Volk, I think it's gonna be tough. But I mean, look, like I said, if somebody, I don't think Volk's getting subbed either. I really don't think he's getting subbed. I could see a knockout for Diego Lopez. I just, and for the record, I love both these guys. I really do. These are 2 of my favorite fighters. Both these guys are. I wish they weren't fighting again, but whatever.
Real quick, chat. Just want to catch up a little bit. WMC says, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, my friend. Then he says, my streams suck. You'll be disappointed. Disappointment is nothing new to us here at D107. I don't know if Toad joins in our sentiment, brother. My whole life is a disappointment. Okay, so I'm cool with it. Lopez ? Yeah, why not? Smart pick. KO or Alex Win, says AJD0101.
I agree.
I get it. That's kind of the normal sentiment. WMC says Volk is not getting subbed. I talked a little bit about the sub, Toad, and I'm glad you brought that up. DS, we talked earlier on in the week. I was like, isn't it weird that nobody's mentioning sub as even a possibility for Diego Lopez? Diego Lopez, some of the best jiu-jitsu in the game, probably the best jiu-jitsu in the division, right? Like, I would assume so. If I had to pick, without like fully deep diving, I would say he has the best jiu-jitsu in the division. We've seen Volk in some situations, right? We've seen the Ortega 2 or 3 subs in that 3rd round, the sub attempts. We've seen Islam Makhachev on his back for an entire round, and Volk did well there to stay out of some dangerous situations. But everybody's got a neck. I know Volk's is super goddamn short, but what about, what if it's not the neck? What if it's a leg lock? What if it's a Kimura, right?
Don't see it, bro. Like,
I don't see it either. I'm just saying it's possible.
Also, I just want to say one thing. Like, don't sleep on how fucking physically strong Volk is. Like, he used to be a big fucking boy, right? He used to be a goddamn heavyweight. And I feel like that strength has kind of stayed with him. Not saying he's just as strong, but I feel like relative to his current body weight, like, you watch that first fight, bro, he was holding Diego Lopez and just kind of maneuvering him around the cage at certain points. So
Last thing I want to say about this fight, guys, before we move on. I really like both of their mentalities going into it, man. Diego Lopez looks so goddamn confident this time around. Like maybe last time out, the lights were too big, the stage was too big. He seems like he's matured and grown into what he believes he should be, which is a superstar. Like if you are what you know, that whole kind of thing. He thinks he's a superstar, and this is a big opportunity for him. But I also love the Volk side of things where he's like, he knows Diego Lopez is going to be more aggressive this time. And he is like, you are not going to fucking aggression me. You are not. If you think you're going to take me down, you're not. And I'll fucking take you down and slam you on your head while swearing. Like I saw like real fire out of Volk. He wants to get this done in front of the crowd. This should be a banger, and it'll be the end of the card, obviously. But the two cards before it, guys, both of these have fight of the night or potential fight of the year written all over.
Two fights before this.
Yeah, the two fights before this. So let's talk about that co-main event. Whoever wants to take it first, Dan Hooker, Benoit Saint Denis. I've been talking for a while.
You want to go for it, Toad?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I opened up this week with the Schmo, obviously talking about violence. And when we looked at a lot of the movement on these fights by finish, unlike last week where we were given negative 200 props on a lot of big banger fights, this surprisingly fell into that category. BSD, Hooker, they're both going to go for broke. And, you know, everyone's, again, maybe expecting the knockout. Don't fade the submission here by either guy. Hooker's cinching up shit from the front. He's got a good ninja. He's got a good Dars. And he even tried grappling with Arman. Now, I don't agree that was the right choice, but it shows that it's in his tool bag and he's thinking about this shit. BSD, I like his chances of getting dropped a lot on the feet. Now, he can give it, he can deal it, and he's a total just gas pedal. So as long as he's throwing and then following up with that takedown attempt and dragging fights out, he's a total vice. But we see Hooker in that Gamrot fight. We see Hooker with these guys that have crazy pressure, crazy grappling in their own regard. And we've seen him kind of turn it up, make those adjustments rounds 2, 3. So I'm not saying that it's for sure going to be right out the gate round 1 finish, but I really do like the odds of this going into maybe a second, third round, and then boom, we get something. So I took Hooker as the dog here. Kind of hard not to at those props. I also like the location of where we're at. And I know Hooker was very frustrated with how he lost that last one. He was very upset. He demanded to get back in there. Worried about the damage sustained, but dude, I think Hooker's about as BMF as it gets. So against another BMF, I got to take him. But dude, BSD is a dangerous fucking man. And before he got that comeback win, I was saying, hey, this guy's totally capable of putting out the lights of most people in this division all day. So hard to fade him, but here I am.
Dino.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is a tough one. This is a tough one because you have BSD and you have Dan Hooker, right? BSD is very much a finish or be finished kind of guy, right? You look at the Moicano fight where on the feet, he should have, on paper, really been whooping on Moicano, right? But what happened? He got his ass absolutely fucking beat. One of the worst beatdowns of that year. So I don't know, man. Like for me, if it gets to the ground, like the wrestling, the grappling game, the overall pace is definitely going to be on the side of Benoit Saint Denis, right? It's the chin that worries me a little bit, right? Because he is prone to making some mistakes because he's just a fucking like Tasmanian devil. He just goes in that bitch, goes crazy, right? So I know Harry loves Dan Hooker. This is like, man, this is such a 50-50 one for me. I am going to stick with BSD. I just think he has more ways to win it. It's a scary one, man. This is a anus clench kind of fight. You know what I mean? Like, even if you don't have a dog in the fight, like this is going to be a finish for sure. Or you know what? I'll say this. Maybe it's not going to be a finish, but whoever does end up losing this fight is going to have some serious fucking damage sustained. Like whoever ends up losing is going to have their ass beat somehow. Right. So I don't know. I'm going to go with BSD. I'm still sticking by my second round sub prediction. I'm going to say like latter part of the second round sub. Tough though. This is a tough one, man. Like I don't know that I would be betting this one.
If we don't get a finish, I'm telling you right now, parlays are falling off the table. People are losing hammers. Like Vegas wins if this fight goes to the judges.
Yep.
Yeah, and just to throw mine in there, even though I've been saying it for a while, I'm sticking with BSD, but I'm not confident, man. My confidence has been fucking waning since the beginning of the week till right now. So slight edge to BSD. If from a betting perspective, you can go fuck yourself with minus 340. I think that's crazy.
That is
So,
nuts.
yeah, so I'm not
Yeah.
touching that. If you want to bet this fight, it's either some sort of prop. It's a Dan Hooker money line as an underdog sprinkle. It's something. BSD, I'm not interested. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
Just want to go to the chat real quick, guys. We have 25 minutes until the card starts. A couple things. WMC says, if Volk loses by sub, I will eat my hat, which Harry from Pro Schmo Bets then one-ups him and says, if Volk gets subbed, I will cut off my dick. Welcome no bromo to the chat, guys. Then Harry cuts off his snake and basketballs, as we can see. People start laughing. WMC, Zach says it went to shit. I'm sorry, brother. We'll fix that later tonight. WMC's with Hooker. BSD getting whooped. Bromo says, let me in. And here he fucking is.
Hello.
Close cap. Dan Hooker has never shown up in his biggest moments. BDS.
There's something to be said about that too. I honestly, I wanted to mention that myself. I really like that point. I think there is something to be said about that. Also, for all the finishing capability that Dan Hooker has, he hasn't had a knockout in 4 years.
Listen, Dan Hooker's cooked. Dan Hooker's cooked. He's shit. He's shit. All right. He's shit. No, he look, he isn't shit. But I feel like I just feel like this is going to be a shorter fight than the Sarukian one for Dan Hooker. I don't know why. I feel like Benoit's going to come in more aggressive than what Sarukian did. I think he's going to get it done. I think it was you, DS, that said submission. Did you say submission? I think it's second round submission, but I think it's going to come earlier than the Saruki one. I just think Dan Hooker's just. I just don't think his grappling's it, and I feel like Benoit's not going to try and fucking go into like a dirty boxing brawl, like what or like what he did with Poirier or whatever. I feel like Benoit's going to be able to get him down relatively easily and just submit him, to be honest.
There we go. Shout out Vex in the chat saying, I got Hooker winning, to be fair. Then Harry says, bro, no mo hoes for you, no bromo. Harry, he's happily in a relationship, okay?
By the way, Harry, I'm loving this new series and I'm loving you talking shit to the AI. That shit's hilarious, bro.
I love the AI talking shit to Harry. It's great.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
The AI is like, I bet Harry will do this bet, the fucking idiot.
Hey, can I chime real quick on the submission theory?
Yeah, go
if
for
you
it.
guys are betting on BSD by submission, you must have a really good prop because the fight to end by submission's live and it's about the same payout. So if you really think it goes to the ground, we get a scramble. Do not fade Hooker's ability to cinch up a fucking neck. Like I'm telling you, he's got the height advantage, dude. He can throw out some shit. He's sneaky with it.
Long limbs,
he has a height. I mean, I'm sure he had the height advantage on Arman though, right? And I know I'm not saying BSD is the same level of grappler as Arman is, but
yeah, no.
I mean to a certain point, it's like you've got to also be able to actually defend these submissions and things like that. And it's like what Paddy said about Dan Hooker, trying to go for that, guillotine on Arman, but Arman wasn't even in the right spot for him to get it. But Hooker's still just holding on for it like he's going to get it. And it's like, well, no, he's not even in the right spot for it, but you're still going to hold on for it. Like, nah. Yeah. I don't think his grappling's good enough.
It's not that he would come into it clean, though. It would be like Hooker's fucking cracking BSD. BSD swinging for his life. There's some type of like moment where BSD puts his neck out. And it just so happens.
I just don't think Hooker in that situation would even be thinking about a submission. I just think at that point he'd be just trying to, pound his brains in, basically.
Yeah.
All right.
Also, I just want to say, like, Dan Hooker is tough as shit. We all remember the Poirier fight and all this stuff, but I feel like when it's like a tough fight and there's grappling involved, or there's a skill set where like he's like, if it's a tough fight on the feet, he's never out of it, right? And it's going to be a fun fight. But if they're mixing it up, level changes and things like that, I feel like he just fades, man.
We'll see. Vex real quick says, I got $5 on Hooker. If bro wins, I'll be able to stock up on energy drinks. Harry says, no fucking way. $5 energy drink. Hey, real quick, guys, we got 21 minutes until the till the card starts. So let's just fly through real quick. Bromo, I wanted to get your real fast main event. Give me like a couple sentences. What do you think?
I think Diego Lopez is this time going to get it done via TKO in rounds 3 or 4. I picked Volkanovski last time to beat Lopez via decision. All right, but I think Lopez is going to come in with a new and improved game plan. And Volk's just kind of the only thing he's got to go off of is the success of last fight, which he's going to. I think he's going to come in and basically just try and do the same sort of thing. Move away from the power hand, keep it at range. I think Diego Lopez is going to come in like an Alex Pereira Ank 2 type of game plan and just try and put it on him and just try and just pressure him and just land the big shots, get up close and, dirty box in the clinch, that sort of thing. Don't give Volk any room to move around or keep it at range. So I think Lopez TKO, like up against the fence, just like the referee has to jump in and stop it, sort of thing. Not like he's going to flatline Volk or anything like that, but I think the referee's going to have to jump in at some point, maybe rounds 3 or 4.
Just like an onslaught. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So like I said, 20 minutes. So let's keep these concise because I want to fly through these fights. Toad, couple sentences, brother. Fiziev, Hoofi, why?
I like Fiziev on the outside. He's very tight with his guard. He's shot selective. He's durable. And when he cracks, he cracks. I like his top shelf countering the low kicks from Hoofi. And we just see a decision win. If not, maybe a big knockout moment. But he said in that face-off some vicious shit. It was cold. So I got to ride the dog here on that.
DS.
I'm going Fiziev, man. I think the speed, the movement is going to be too much for Hoofi. I think he gets frustrated at some point. I'm not like super confident on this. I could see Hoofi landing some crazy spinning shit to the dome and, but Fiziev is as tough as they come, man. I think we will see him use his wrestling a little bit in this one too. And I think he inches out in a close fight, a decision win.
Bromo.
I can't believe Fiziev's the underdog here because he's fucking solid. And Rufi's like, what has Rufi done? I mean, he's knocked out King Green and then got dominated by BSD. So to say he's the
line has flipped again, by the way. The line has once again flipped. So Hoofi was the dog. He went to the favorite. These odds are not live. Fiziev is a small favorite again.
All right. Okay. Well, I think I agree with these guys. I think Fiziev is going to win maybe 29-28. I think Rufi might get the first round. And people will be saying, "Oh, Rufi's, he really is good. He's not a fraud. He's legit." And then I think, Fiziev will just kind of put it on him in the later 2 rounds and just get a decision win. Maybe show some implement his grappling because he can grapple and Rufi can't grapple. He's not going to keep it at range with Rufi with his long fucking legs, is he? So I think I think Fiziev's going to get up close and that. Nice and violent, maybe some grappling, and 29-28. I think.
Okay, so I'll lone wolf it here. I'm going 29-28 the opposite way. I'm going Mauricio Hoofi. I think he just has more career in front of him, man. We're gonna see more improvements out of Mauricio Hoofi, who was embarrassed last time out. So I think this is like a fucking redemption game for him, and I think it's prime, man. He's been in Australia for a while, training with the champ Volkanovski. Give me Mauricio Hoofi, close fight, close decision, fight of the night, fight of the year type of contender. So there we go.
Did you see Gene Silva and Hoofi unfollow each other on Instagram?
Yeah, fighting nerds are fucking falling apart. Tai Tuivasa, Tyson Teixeira. Does anyone think we see a Shui?
We said we were getting that on both sides.
How about the good Shui, Toad?
Yeah. I could do one of these. But
yeah,
this dude barely made weight.
He sweatsuit on episode 5 of the vlog. Like it was down to the fucking wire for my boy.
Okay, and I was scared on the scale too. They took a little while, and he was like,
yeah. The eye motion, like, come on, mate, what the fuck now? Come on.
He looked nervous as fuck to make. He looks so nervous to make 265.5 pounds. How do you have to do? Who the fuck does a massive water cut at heavyweight? That's insane. And he still looks like shit.
330 pounds, I think.
But he still looks like shit though. He looks awful. People saying, "Oh, he's in the best shape ever." No, he's not. He looks like a bag of melted ice cream still.
Bro, he's got this money now. He ain't out doing his Domino's delivery. He's getting his steps in. You know what I mean? Like different man, different money, different weight. There you go.
Crazy.
Vex in the chat. I think Hoofi could be the second BSD. BSD, he was hyped, but he lost 2 in a row, lost the hype, and came back. I think the same will happen with Hoofy after he loses to Fiziev. So
I
he
can see
thinks
that.
rebound coming afterwards. All right, man. Look, I think we're all in the same boat. Tyson Teixeira by finish, but we're fucking hoping.
I'm really hoping. I'm hoping I'm wrong on this one for sure. Yeah.
Hey, Greg Hardy won last night. If Greg Hardy can win, Tai Tuivasa can win. All right.
If Tai Tuivasa wins, though, like, what does Taliesin even do? Like, I think you just fucking call it quits.
Fuck Taliesin. We get Tuivasa versus Tom Aspinall, Bromo. We're coming to fucking England and we're taking.
Bro, Tai Tuivasa is just an unserious guy. Like, as much as fun as he is, but it's like, bro, you took a hella time off. You got super fucking fat, barely made weight. You were coming off like how many losses now? Was it 4?
Five
in a row? Fucking A. Like, I mean, I can't possibly pick him. You know, now he's always live for a knockout. That's his calling card. So,
yeah. How about this one, guys? Any chance of an upset?
Oh yeah, there's always a chance at heavyweight. I mean,
no. I was talking about the next fight, Toad. But if you want to talk about that, you're picking Teixeira, though, right?
Yeah, Teixeira all day.
But it's possible because it's heavyweight.
Yeah, it's heavyweight. At the end of the day, if there's an upset to occur in any division, it's heavyweight. One dinkum. Then you sink them. That's all it takes. It's just one fuck up.
My friend Ricky, he reckons.
Shout out, Ricky.
he said Tai Tuivasa via decision. I was like, what the
my
fuck
god!
you on about?
He should put some money on that if he feels strongly.
It's crazy high. Yeah, it's like 1,000 prop plus.
Is it? Fucking hell! Could you imagine that happens? Oh,
what about this one, guys? Does Jamie Malarkey's chin survive?
They keep finding a way to glue it back together every fight, dude. I don't know.
I was saying in my collaboration with Fight Society that this is actually this is the first non-minority that he's fighting. So maybe the buff's gonna disappear.
Yeah,
and we might see him lose this fight because Jamie Malarkey is a white Australian.
Yeah, that's facts. Three fights, 3 minorities. Who knows? Maybe that's all. Maybe he's like the new Drew Dober.
Jamie Malarkey looks like a monster, by the way, like that tall ass monster.
Yeah. What happened to his eyebrows?
That's good. I like that.
I don't know, man.
They're just like albino white snow, so you can't see him until it zooms in on his face. But
Andrew in the chat saying Tyson by Ozempic. I fuck with it.
Those are outlawed, right? Like they cannot just get on Ozempic if they wanted to, right?
Why not? Who's stopping them?
There's no way GLP-1s are allowed.
Is that a banned substance?
There's people taking steroids and getting away with it, so it ain't that bad. Junior Taffa, the piece of shit, the notorious piece of shit asshole, Junior Taffa, taking on son of Susie. Billy
What's with the whoa? What's with the
don't worry about it. Just give me your break.
I'm sensing a bit of animosity there.
Yeah, no, just a little bit.
I was gonna say I love this guy. He makes me so much fucking money. He's like the heavyweight Anthony Smith. The way he gets on the ground, it just gets fucked. Like I love.
What is he like 6-4 now?
Who cares? He should not be in the promotion. Him, I like Justin way more than I like Junior, but they could both fuck off.
Oh my god. Fucking hell. Bam Bam hates the Tapper brothers.
Do you guys like Billy by submission here? Like, just
I do.
Get him on the ground and just fucking.
Yeah.
The ground and pound's live with that, though, too. So I like him just by finish.
Yeah, I think my official pick was TKO, ground and pound.
I mean, I can just see any Taffer brother gets finished because they're fucking terrible. I don't know what the Taffer brothers and Tuivasa are still doing in the UFC. I think it's crazy that Rosenstruik gets caught, but we keep Tai Tuivasa.
Is that not what I was saying the other day, Dino?
Exactly. Verbatim.
Crazy.
Verbatim, I was saying that. Like,
I want to see Tai come back and take on Sergey.
Ugh.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I want to see Sergey and Tai.
Okay. Hey, let's get that. Could be a banger. Tai Tuivasa needs a win. Let's not kill him again, Toad. What are we doing? A couple wins.
I know he does before we get him.
Okay, give him fucking Josh Hokit. Why not?
Well, that's right. 11
that
minutes.
Would actually be dope.
That would be fun. But Josh Hokit is begging for fucking old boy, the Cuban fella. Someone said,
the deadbeat dad.
Yeah, the deadbeat dad. There we go. All right, hey, Cam Ralston versus friend of the channel, Cody Brundage. Real quick, I've said this a bunch of times, guys. The official pick, Cody Brundage. Look, I understand. I get it. I know why Cam Ralston's the favorite. I know he could and should win this fight. I just think Brundage is live. I like plus 285 there's two reasons for it. Number one, this is Cam Rouston's highest level of competition he's faced. It is not that for Cody Brundage. And secondly, Cam Rouston, 2 losses outside. He has 3 losses, but 2 of his losses outside of the UFC, one to Torres Finney, one to Jacob Malkoun, who is also on this card. Both of those fellas, what do they have in common? They are grapplers. And if Cody Brundage goes out there and uses his fucking grappling, he wins this fight. Anyone siding with me?
I'm saying it's definitely live.
Yeah.
I just had that. Well, the wear and tear, the tread that he's been through as well versus the fresher, larger, just snappier guy at range. But if Brundage gets in and makes this a boxing affair, he's going to do dirty work. Like, it's a first round knockout, I think, on Brundage. So
this guy says pre-recorded. Are we pre-recorded?
Well, yeah, we are. Yeah.
Yep,
It's all pre-recorded.
That's fucking Aaron cheated on the scale, so there you go. That's how you know that we're not.
Yeah, Aaron
Crazy.
Yeah, he did. God, that shit's crazy.
Fucking Lord.
Man.
What about this fight, guys? We got 10 minutes. What about this fight? Anyone got anything interesting about this fight?
Oh, Malkoun's the favorite. Is he still the favorite? What are the odds on this now?
Let me check the live odds. Jacob Malkoun is... I don't know why it's only showing me the main card. Give me 1 second.
I mean, I'm taking Jacob Malkoun.
Jacob Malkoun is minus 155 right now.
On that last one, who's all going Brundage? Is you, do you know?
It looks like just
him,
me.
Yeah, just him.
Yeah, he's a live dog for sure.
Anyone think Finney can win this fight?
I'm taking Finney. I think
Same.
he just stalls it out. I've been kind of open, like, hey man, like, he's a fellow MMA Toad Mud Hut warrior.
Is he in the Mud Hut?
Yeah, he is. He's a cool dude, and he trains real hard. But I'm very open. I'm like, I'm not speaking to him directly, but anyone with that vice style, it's like mix in the ground and pound, mix in the submission attempts. Like, you start to win fans over big time. Like, look at Walter Walker. Like, if you can just run out, grab someone, throw them to the ground and do something, cool. But it's takedown after takedown after takedown. No one's interested. You know what I mean? So I like the guy. Yeah. I'm hoping we see a level up performance where he's showing something else. But I think he wins off his wrestling. Whether it's good
I was gonna say the same thing. I'm hoping that it's more interesting than his last fight, because his last fight was fucking ass cheeks. And he's an interesting guy though as well, just how he's built and shit like that. Like, he needs like a really big statement win for fans to get back on his side, because after his last fight, people are like, nah, this guy's fucking boring, man.
Yeah.
I think he might win though. I think he will win, but I mean, who knows?
Look, I think it's live either way. I just think Finney is going to do Finney things, and they'll match him up weirdly after this. They're going to start trying to get his head knocked off. For the people in the chat, if you just look down, there's a little thumbs up and a subscribe button. You should click those, okay? You should click those for us. And then also check out these two gentlemen right here. We've got No Bromo MMA and MMA Toad over there on that side. Give them some love. Follow them or sub on their channels on YouTube. Follow them on Instagram, all that kind of shit. DS has disappeared. But 2 more fights, guys, and we got 8 minutes. So Jonathan Mikhailov, Oban Elliott. This one's a weird one to me, right? I like Jonathan Mikhailov, I think, more than most people do in terms of a prospect. I think he's legitimate. I like his leg kicks a lot, and nobody's been talking about that. But I love Oban Elliott, man, and I just think the community as a whole is kind of starting to go away from Oban Elliott from one bad performance, right? I don't like that. I'm picking Jonathan Mikhailov, but I'm rooting for Oban Elliott. Toad, what do we got?
Yeah, no, I'm happy to hear you with that open up, because I also like Mikhailov. I think he's live with his striking. He has bad intentions. Yeah, the level changes big time difference with the leg kicks. And dude, he's live even in these little scrambles. You know what I mean? He's always looking for something, submissions, different counters. So I like the physicality. I don't like how Oban didn't have his controller plugged in last fight. So he's got to perform for me this time for me to trust him, the next fight. So give me John.
There we go.
The captain.
Yeah, I mean, Oban Elliott, he was exciting at one point, and I think it's just kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of died down a bit, hasn't it?
Because of one fight.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is the thing, though, isn't it? I mean, fans are like, that's what fans do, though, man. I mean, look at Torres Finney, the guy that we were just talking about. Everyone was like, oh, this guy's fucking sick. Look at what he looks like and like how he fights, and then he has one stink, and it's like, oh, Same with Hamzat Chimaev and Islam. You know, they have a boring fight, and then people go, "Oh, they're just boring. They're just boring." But yeah, I mean, I don't think Obon's really all that, to be honest, either way. But
You know
so,
what
yeah,
the
I'll
problem
probably
is,
go.
Bromo? If you look at Obon Elliott's resume, he beat kind of like a whatever dude on the Contender Series. Then he comes into the UFC and it's Val Woodburn. Shout out Val Woodburn, by the way. Preston Parsons. And then he gets that nasty knockout over Basel Hafez. And it's just like, then he loses his next fight. And everyone's kind of like, well, who the fuck is he beating? Those guys are trash. So it's like, you know, it's revisionist. It's kind of like hindsight, but maybe that's the truth. Maybe it's not. Either way, I like him. I'm assuming you'd be rooting for him or no?
Well, me?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
A
of course,
resident
man.
UK
I mean,
guy.
fellow UK. You know, fucking Wales. I mean, it's it's close enough to England. So I mean, I'm always going to root for the UK guys, man. Unless they're just like, I don't know, unless they're doing something really wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course I'm going to root for
Epstein
him.
files
Always.
wrong or what?
Oh well, yeah. I mean, look, if you're in the Epstein, look, I mean, you could be in the Epstein files and be innocent. I mean, just like Donald Trump, right? Because he's obviously innocent. Because that's what they're telling us. So it must be true.
There we go. Khan Ofli versus Yi Za, okay, which they've been calling something else, not Yiza, which is what it's always been pronounced as. Now they're calling him like Yija or something. I don't know, something weird. Any insight on this fight? Toad.
Heads or tails?
Let's go heads.
All right, just kidding. That's how I feel about a lot of these early prelim fights. You know what I'm saying? Give me Yiza. I guess he's the most trusted fighter, the most proven fighter in the mix-up. I think his grappling's live as well. So, yep.
Yeah, Bromo.
I agree with Todd. I mean, these early prelim fights, I don't really feel any type of way about them. To be honest, for a pay-per-view, I feel like as you get further down, you get past, you get onto the early prelims, and it's just kind of like, who the fuck knows? I'll be honest. Like, I've literally never heard of any of these guys. I'll be honest. Apart from Khan Ofli, but Kim Sang-wook, Don Marfan, who the fuck? Sulang Grangbo.
A lot of people are high on Sulang Grangbo. But hey, one quick one I want to talk about this fight. This guy, Sebastian Saleh. This is my pick for the guy, the MVP of the road to the UFC. So maybe I'm wrong and he gets fucking slumped by Kichiro Nakamura. But I like this guy, Sebastian. I think he's legit. So I'm fucking planting. I'm planting the flag there on this guy. You got anything for me, Toad, on this fight, or do you not give a fuck?
Do you ever just like hope that these other Asian prospects keep showing up and fucking knocking people out in the first round or doing something crazy? So we get a big like Tokyo card or a big card over that way. So I want to, yeah, I'm gonna fade Sebastian, but yeah, I agree with your pick. I think this is one of the early dogs on the card though.
Boom. We got MB in the chat. Bromo was shaking when King Yuri won.
Oh,
people forget, man.
dude.
I'm always shaking. I'm just shaking in general. But when Yuri fucking fights Bromo, that's a different kind of nerves. And I know you feel me, Toad. We've never talked about Yuri with you,
bro. Dude, I was at 300 fucking screaming for my boy, and this drunk ass dude and his buddy were just seat hopping, and they happened to sit right next to me and my homie during the fight, and they was all screaming for rockets and being drunk assholes. And I'm like just doing what I do, screaming it out loud, like, come on, do this, do that. And he starts mixing that shit up really good in that second round, and has that fucking blitz where he comes storming across. It was a perfect storm. Like he's just fucking, how he gets. It's wild, it's loose, and he fucking drops rockets and gets the knockout. And I basically almost paid for part of my trip because of him.
Yeah.
And I trust him like that. I love Yuri, so I collect his cards. I think he's fantastic, funny ass dude. Go for that all day. I'm a huge Yuri fan.
He's also going to be champion this year, so
he'll be champion in fucking April in Miami, Bromo. Guys, we've got 1 minute until the card starts, so I think it's a good time to sign off because DS fucking disappeared as well. So thank you guys for showing up. Thank you guys in the chat for showing up, showing us some love. Toad, are you going live right now for the card?
Yeah, I'll probably fire up my fight companion and just jam out. We do live betting and just kind of talk bets and bullshit, have fun.
There it is. So if you guys want a fight companion, there's one right there. MMA Toad will be live on Instagram and YouTube. On the opposite side of me, our Englishman, No Bromo MMA, just dropped a banger video with One Fight Society, another friend of the channel. Awesome fucking content creator. You guys go check out that video. You will not be live. WMC says, great show, lads. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. We got these two guys going with Diego Lopez and New. I'm going and still. I'll be hopping in and out of your stream, Toad, and Bromo will be fucking around. I'm sure we'll see each other in somebody's stream at some point. So thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Let's fucking go.
Much love. Thanks for having us on, bro.
Of
it was
course.
good.
Take care,
boys.
Nice meeting
See
you,
you
bro.
next time.
Peace.